Welcome everybody to the Trisbrina Show, and today we're diving into how vibration is everything. Your internal vibration is directly affecting your external reality. Now, I know this is a conversation that a lot of you are already in on. It's no secret anymore, but for some folks out there, and I think even ourselves included, we forget from time to time, don't we? Because the reality is so real. So we want to dive into the importance of our vibration and some really golden insights that I think are going to come through, and a bunch of silliness too. So, hi everyone and welcome. Miss Sabrina, I see a lot of funness going on here. Hi Charles. Hi Charles from St. Paul. Good evening Barbara. Hi there Marge. Hello Margaret. You guys are throwing me off a little bit there. We got Marge and Margaret, right? Janet Olson, hello. Hi, Carol from Montreal.
Janet, did you take a break from your exam?
Yeah, you're supposed to be studying.
I'm glad you did.
I love Montreal. I remember St. Catherine Street very well.
Hello, Ellen Wayne.
Oh,
That's
very
my
cool.
auntie. We're going to go see her.
That's right.
Bit.
Welcome to the show, everybody. All right.
So, Ellen.
Oh, we could do it, showing off the eyelashes and the
the green.
Ooh, it's so pretty. Very pretty. What is that color called?
Ocean.
Ocean. It
Ocean
looks very
pop.
nice with your ocean dress. I tried to be color coordinated and go with the pop and pink.
No, he tried to wear purple. I said no.
She shut me down. I had to do a quick change of Ruski. All right, let's dive into this funness.
I think you should, let's edit all that out.
Why? I love all that part.
Okay, good.
All our friends are here.
Okay.
All right, so vibration is everything. We love the energy arts, right? We love moving meditation, the art of Qigong. We love to feel the vibration of energy. And I was talking with some of our students not long ago about how back in the day, I think a lot of people, maybe even to this point, think that Qi or energy is like this mysterious, magical energy. And in a way, it's magical in what it can do in your life. But if you think about it, energy is everywhere. Energy is everything. So it's not just some mystical force. Your blood is made of Qi. Your breath, your skin, your tissues, your bones, this stuff. It's just a different vibrational frequency. It's more dense. So in this density, we don't necessarily see energy. Yeah. But some can. Some have the perceptivity, the ability, the receptivity to notice and feel energy. And it's an instrument, isn't it? The body's an instrument, just like the ear. Can you explain when you described the human hearing aid, what you meant by that?
Yes, so sound, what we perceive as sound is vibration inside our ear, the way that it vibrates, and we interpret that as sound. So is there noise if there isn't an ear there?
Like if a tree falls in the forest,
Yeah, if the
did
tree
it
falls
actually
in the
make
forest
any sound?
and no one's there to hear it, did it make a sound? Well, sound is the interpretation of energy, right? Because as a certain frequency vibrates in the ear, in the eardrum, in the cavity, we have the interpretation of it, and that's what's called noise, our sound.
So we need a translator.
Yeah, the same thing with our eyes. What we're seeing through the physical eyes, the eyes translate energy,
right?
Translate energy,
Information.
The physical, when you touch something, you are translating the
Kinetic
energy
transference.
of the thing that you're touching.
Right.
We translate energy when we eat, taste. You know
So
that.
through the senses, we're translating energy all the time. And so your body is like this beautiful instrument, this receiving and sending station. It's how refined is your instrument. And that's probably why when people start practicing Qigong and they start opening up their sensitivity, getting more present, right, moving meditation, more sensitive, feeling, they can sense the electromagnetics that are always there. It's just that they're not it's like a dial on a radio station. They just haven't quite tuned into it. And when you do, you're like, oh my gosh, it's real. feel, right?
But
And
perhaps the great question that people may be pondering right now is, why should they care? Why
do
should
we
you care? Why should you keep watching this video? For me, the reason you should be watching is because if there's something going on in your life that is less than you would like it to be, let's say less desirable, not as in less and more. Let's say you don't feel as good as you would like to feel. Maybe there's a pain, right? Instead of just looking at muscles, bones, tendons, ligaments, and what's going on, how can we shift the energy so the body can heal faster, can overcome a disruption in the energy system? How can we shift? Or maybe it's sleeping issues. We can't sleep. I know for me, if I can't sleep, it's usually looping thoughts. Can't turn the brain off. Instead of just trying to turn off the thoughts with other thoughts. If you're with me, say amen in the chat, right? The mind is looping. And not only is it looping, worrying about something, then there's another voice that starts yelling at that one going, stop thinking so much, you should be sleeping.
And then when you get that inner battle going
whole
on.
Conversations, but you can't turn off the thought with the thought. So what if we could change the energy, that way that you feel, so that you feel the way that you feel when your body falls into rest and sleep. And the same thing with the mood, right? If you've ever felt in a mood that is not a mood that you would choose to stay in, maybe just irritable, maybe just irritated. Coincidentally, everyone is so irritating today.
You have nothing to do with it.
Could it be me? Right? What can I do to shift the energy?
Right.
So let's talk for a second about things you can do. You can move your body. That's usually the easiest way.
Funny how that works,
shift.
moving your body.
Yeah.
You know, so many times we'll have a class and people come and they'll say, I almost didn't come, but I'm so glad that I did. Mm-hmm. I feel 10 times, 100 times better than when I first came, because I was in a funk, my body was hurting, something like that, right? Well, what happened? You changed your state. You changed your energy flow. You caused a balance and alignment, right? And so when the energy shifts, the feeling shift. And when the feeling shift, the thoughts change. Can we talk about that too? Or do you want to keep going into the path of like what happens when you change your energy? I may. I've been given permission to change the topic slightly. So think about this. People often say thoughts become feelings. Feelings become what? Actions. Actions become results. That's a pretty typical flow line. And it's true. But it reverses itself too, because if you can improve your mood, and if you can get your energy, therefore your feelings, to shift, doesn't it make sense that your thoughts would also, if it's bi-directional, your thoughts would upregulate? And the reality is yes. It's very hard to think a good thought when you don't feel good. Have you tried that? It's very incongruent, right? So if you can change the vibration, vibration is everything. Yeah. We said it in the opening. Then the feeling, the mood, the tone of your energy changes. And we like to say that emotions are just how you're reading your energy flow, whether it's skewed, disrupted, or in balance. When your emotions feel good, your energy is flowing. And I like to think of emotions as a fusion of thoughts and feelings. And then we give them a label, right? So when I'm thinking good and feeling good, I'm going to call that an emotion.
Joy.
Joyful.
Yeah.
Right. So think about up-regulating your feelings, and your energy does that. Now you're in an elevated emotion, your thoughts are going to change. Rather than trying to change and crunch on the thoughts psychologically to make them work, what if you just change it through your energy?
And it doesn't have to be a lot of movement, no matter how limited a person may have limitations with mobility. That's what the great thing about full body tapping. It can be done sitting in a chair. We have a lot of people that are in wheelchairs that still kind of use this shortcut to shifting the energy. This morning when I woke up, I didn't think, I feel like dancing around for an hour and lifting weights and sweating. My toes hurt because I wore kind of skinny-toed boots yesterday. A hamstring hurt because the heels were high and I was carrying a dog a whole lot. So it's like, that's a little stiff. So, and I worked out the previous 364 days. So it's like I could have just skipped it, but I didn't. And I even told my students, I said, just so you know, some days it's so easy.
Right.
Some days it's so easy. I'm so excited. I'm so happy when I'm moving with you guys that I can't stand it. And I said, this isn't one of those days, but I'm here and I'm going to move. And through moving my body, it's like the Tin Man in Wizard of Oz. Tin Man, he's oil can, right? You just need that little bit of movement so that everything that has become static or what do you call like a lake when there's no movement and it looks really gross?
Oh, it's somebody in the chat help us out. It's stagnant.
Stagnant.
Is that the word you used though?
I already used that word.
Yeah.
Give me another one. No. So you know
Survey says.
Or it's a small body of water. There hasn't been any fresh water flowing through it, and it looks disgusting, right? That's how I feel sometimes after when I wake up from the body just laying so still for so long, and then you get up, you got to move around again. Oh, here, murky. I'll take that.
Murky. That's a good one.
So just moving the body a little bit, and then I consciously do, in addition to moving the body, I start noticing what I'm thinking. And as soon as I caught myself kind of going through oh, that hurts and that doesn't feel good and I don't really like that and why do I have to do this? And I could probably...
So feelings became those thoughts.
Yeah.
Vibration.
So I immediately started and sometimes you can't lie to yourself. Then there's no such thing as a lie. But that would be shifting your limited belief to a point that you're not able to hold it. Right? So this morning, if I had said, I feel amazing, I'm going to really go for it, it's going to be one of the best classes
those
ever.
Affirmations.
Yeah, see, I couldn't do that. I wasn't able to accept
like a lie.
that. Yeah, so I just said, I'm going to do as much as I can, and I know that I'm going to feel better afterwards. That was enough to start the shift. That was more than enough to start the shift.
Changing your state. Mm-hmm. So movement.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, how do you shift your energy? So energy, meaning in this case, we're talking about the energy flow within the body, right? So you have these channels that the life force flows through. And as we said earlier tonight, that energy makes up everything. So it's not just the energy channels per se. It's the bones, it's the organs, it's all the tissues, right? And we talk a lot about issues getting trapped in the tissues. And the mind isn't just in the brain, it's also in the body. So if your mind is trapped... Mind is energy. Thought is consciousness. It's energy. If it gets trapped or blocked in the tissues and you're not moving it, it's going to seep in there. It's going to be pungent. It's going to be like that stale water that's
murky.
That stagnant, murky, icky water is trapped in your body. Of course you're going to feel horrible, right? And feelings, think about on a chemical level what's happening. Your brain is picking up how you're feeling, and then it's going, oh, let me give you some more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's this chemical addiction, Molecules of Emotion, if anybody's read that book by Candace Pert, is amazing. And so now these cells, these neural peptides that are released from your brain, they go and attach onto the cells, and then the cells are getting like a little, like a bump. They're getting a what do you call that when you, like on a drug, right? They're getting a little hit of like, bleh. And so your body continues to feel yucky. Yeah. So you got to move. So what we always say is through the body to upgrade the energy. So like Sabrina likes to dance around and move and breathe. And purge.
Think of the breathing and the movement like the murky water as opposed to a river that has a flow to it that cleans it out so fast, or how you shake the salad dressing when the oil and vinegar separate.
And I'm glad you brought up shake, because then in addition to what she's dancing, what is she doing? She's moving all that fascia tissue, the connective tissues moving and gliding and sliding. We might do tapping in Qigong, squeezing, releasing, lengthening, twisting, breathing. You're moving everything.
What do you that are here live like to do? I see Janet says she does full body tapping every single morning. Another tip to shifting the energy quickly is noticing the conversation that you're having, right? If you're in a conversation and the conversation starts becoming like an us versus them, that can start to affect your energy, right? Because, then my view is correct. My view is correct. I'm right. You're wrong. So here's a little story about that. So we all perceive the same thing in a completely different way. Every single person, every single soul, they can be in the same city, walking down the same street, seeing the same thing, and it's perceived in a different way. And most of them will think they're right. Now, of course, they're going to think they're right. Otherwise, they would change their mind and say, oh, you're right. And then when they change their mind, they think they're right. So when I was in this movie called The Stepford Children, spoiler alert, I get turned into a Stepford child at the end. And when I do, I'm not fully done, and my dad's trying to rescue me from a hospital. This is not a true story, right? From the hospital. Anyway, one of the things they did to make it spooky is they sent me to an eye doctor that gave me contacts that were as big as all of my eye. Like, it covered the white and everything, and they were black, dark brown. And the middle of them, I guess, was clear because that part was on my pupil. No, the whole thing was brown. The whole thing was brown. They had a doctor come on the set and put them in the days that I was shooting. And when I would open my eyes, I didn't see what everybody else saw. I saw in gray. I saw in brown. Like when I use my Photoshop app and I can take a colorful picture and I can say, make it sepia. Make it all like brown tones.
Look at you, all cool and sepia.
Look at me. Yeah, I got the sepia lens. And I would argue, if that's the way I saw something, I would say, no, it's dark brown and light brown. And somebody else could say, I love the pink. There's no pink, right? Because that was the reality I was perceiving. Right. And that's the way I kind of think about it with energy. The energy of what you are and what you're used to, you're going to translate the situation that you're seeing to fit your belief system.
Keyword translate.
And to translate it in a way that fits into your current reality. Or we can shift our energetic state, which means we're going to actually be open to other ideas and opinions and feelings and thoughts, and then we might see different colors. Now, that can happen to us. We can be under the influence of other people in a positive way or a not positive way. So maybe I'm the person seeing pink and everybody else is seeing sepia, and in this example, maybe that's like, it's a bad time in the economy, there's a recession, you know, this guy running for president is awful, oh, this one's a total dork, you know, and oh, you're right, and I will lose my ability to see the pink. I will shift once I'm in the same frequency as them, because I'm going to change my belief system and kind of get into that complaining, judgmental, doom kind of outlook, which really doesn't feel great, right? Or you can shift and be influenced by something like physical movement, like conversations like this, that let you start seeing the pink, and you realize the pink was always there. I just wasn't seeing it based on what I believed to be true from my past.
And this is such a great question to go with what you're talking about. Can your limited beliefs affect your energy? And
1,000%.
Because it's bi-directional. So as soon as your thoughts and limited beliefs that you're repeating to think, right? A belief is just a thought you continue to think. It's going to impact your body. Every thought that you have fires neurons in your brain, and your brain says, oh, you want some of those kind of chemicals to be released? Neuropeptides is what they're called. Boom, here you go. And you get doused with these other chemicals that go down, as we said earlier, and they cause your tissues, your cells, to feel a certain feeling. Now, everything is energy, so not only is energy happening through, because there's different schools of learning. One is through the chemistry, but the other's through the energy. Someone else would say, oh, well, those thoughts are going to cause a disruption in your energy flow. And so it's sort of chicken, egg, chicken. Oh, now the energy's disrupted. It leads to negative emotions, right? Feelings and thoughts, emotions. So they're working both ways. So we like to say through the body, we were talking earlier about twisting and moving and bouncing and shaking, because that helps the chemicals, that helps the biology, the chemistry of the body to feel better. Yeah. Those neuropeptides start firing better chemicals, happy hormones, if you will. But also the tissues start to open and breathe and expand, and those channels, those life force energy channels, get freed up. So the energy is no longer disrupted or blocked. It's balanced and it's flowing and it starts rising up. More on that in a different conversation. But as that energy is freed up, your emotions shift. And therefore your thoughts.
Well, I just was giggling over one thing. Leah said she can't live without pink.
Hold up.
That made me laugh.
Let me see if I can help out. There. How about a whole bunch of pink for you?
It was there
Instant
all along.
manifestation.
So last night, 4 of my mom's sisters were here, and 2 of my uncles, and Tristan gave some of them like some body work, some squeezing and releasing and tapping, and several of them were like, "Oh gosh, I feel so much better. My neck feels different. Oh, I feel more relaxed." There was a lot of perceived benefit going on. Now, why is that? Just because somebody can move stuck energy, somebody can squeeze the stuck energy out of right there, out of a place for you.
Give it a little rub.
And so, if you have trouble kind of putting your finger on, well, how can that be? Think about that. When someone like rubs your shoulders or does something to you, do you notice like you almost feel like a flush and a change or goosebumps? I remember reading that sometimes when like someone squeezing your shoulders and I get goosebumps all over, what that is your body recalibrating. Because there's been, imagine like little spots that had stagnant, stuck, murky energy in it. I remember one gentleman I used to get body work from, he described it as a sponge, little spots on our body that were like dirty sponges, a sponge that you had used to clean the frying pan when like the greasy potatoes had stuck to the bottom and you haven't washed out the sponge and it's just full of that. And energy work is like squeezing the sponge to get it clean, and flushing clean water through it.
I witnessed something last night. Sabrina's mom's sisters and their husbands came to our house. I just told them that. I know. But while they were here, kind of give you more of the background, there's a lot of sisters, and some of them are watching right now. Hi, ladies. And they're amazing, and they harmonize and sing together. And so I saw that Carol talked about in the chat, joy, love, happiness, fun, meditation, they increase your frequency. It's so true. And so I noticed this through their body and through singing and their toning. They started harmonizing these beautiful songs, and it brought so much joy and happiness and smiles, and the words that were part of the song just uplifted you, made you feel so connected to the divine. Mm-hmm. It was just so beautiful to see that through joy and through just family, connection, community, friendships like right now, our frequency is going to increase.
Yes, singing, when people use a meditation technique that they call toning, which is when they're kind of making sounds or chanting, right? It's very similar to singing. What is that? When you hum, like if you hum right now, you can put your lips together. Can you feel it? You can feel resonance. The vibration. You can feel it in your head. You can feel it in your nose. You can sometimes feel it in your lips. You can feel the energy. Chest. It feels good. That's a really good way to shift your energy. Sing a song. And then harmonizing with other people. I said to Aunt Betty last night, like when the sisters are singing, and they're really good, it wasn't just harmony of musical notes. It was harmony of family, and it was harmony of souls, that these souls had chosen.
Aww. They were in a concert together.
Yeah.
Concert of friends.
Just to see when souls come together in this pocket of family and harmonizing, I just saw it as such an analogy of supporting each other in a chord of music, right? Not everybody's singing the same note, right? We got do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Let's just sing and harmonize. Hi, Craig.
He says, sing and play the piano. Many of you have heard Craig's music. Craig's here tonight. Welcome, dear brother. Lovely to see you. Yeah.
But being in harmony with other people, it's not that you have to be in the same, but the frequency is blending and harmonizing and supporting each other. It's never about having to agree with somebody, right? Like I can look at something and I'm going to see what I see and Tristan will see what his sees, but the harmonizing of that is what Trisbrina sees, and us both supporting that, blessing that, prioritizing that, almost like honoring that. Because inside Trisbrina allows for both opinions without judgment. So when there isn't a judgment and it's just, oh, wow, I'm translating that situation as this. I see it when Tristan sometimes, he used to like to watch those MMA fights. Is that what they're called?
You got it.
And I'm watching and I'm like, this is horrible. This is sad. He's going to hit him in the face. Like his poor mother. What is she thinking? Is he married?
Look at
Does
the
he have
story she brings
kids?
to it.
I hope that he doesn't let his kid. And I'm all about that. And Tristan was, did you see that hook? Did you see? And he's only talking about this technique.
The art.
He's not seeing any of the things that I'm seeing and I'm projecting onto that. Right? I noticed it when people are watching Latin dancing, like ballroom style Latin dancing, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's so sexy. Look, oh, that's so sexy. I've never watched it and thought it was sexy. I'm always like, look at that rumba walk. Look at how hyperextended her calf is. That is so beautiful. Look at that toe pointing.
We have our lens.
So it's the same thing, but you're seeing it based on your story of what you've experienced in your life. I am right, and the sexy people are right too. No one has to be wrong.
So we're talking about vibration. And
I'm thinking of good vibrations.
And vibration is everything. And the more sensitive you become to energy, the more you can quickly catch where your vibration is at or where it's heading. And so if energy dictates density, meaning the physical, the formless dictates the form, then you know, and this is so important, that you catch when you're in this physical angst, this pain, this worry, this external pull, my bank account, whatever that external pull is, rather than going further outside yourself to fix it, how about you do the U-turn and you come inside and you correct your energy, your frequency. We're using these words, right? Your vibration, your feeling state. Correct that, and then let that inform the density, and to really trust and know that you're that powerful as a creator, that your energy matters. I used to think that this was super you-know-what talk, right? Not anymore. Now I know that my energy is everything. It's so important for me where I'm at. If I walk into a room and I'm in a needy kind of energy or a projection type of energy, I absolutely affect the energy in the room. Do you guys agree? I absolutely affect what I call into my experience.
You suck, your energy sucker.
Yeah, and you pull out of others what you're projecting. And so it's a pure reflection at this point. And the entire life is a pure reflection of my energy. And in that case, everybody gets a pass because I'm creating my reality. Now let's just go there, right? So if everything that's showing up right now for all of us is in this manifestation form, was created based on our thoughts and our feelings and the energy that we were emitting, we did that over here and it's shown up. Some of it happens real fast. Other times it takes a little time for it to blossom. But that means that if you want something to change, go inside. Do the inner work. Work on your state. I had a couple things come across the dashboard of my consciousness, if you will, recently that made me feel not good. And I love that because that's how you know how close you are to your inner being. If you don't feel good, you're not tapping in. You're away from your soul. And that's a beautiful feedback mechanism. Oh, wow, I'm so glad that I don't feel good right now. That's the ultimate reframe. But boy, does it work. It's like, wait a minute. My initials are TT. I go, TT, go home. Just remember ET? ET, go. ET, want to go home. TT, go home. So I gotta take my medication, which is my meditation. And I take my meditation and I take it seriously because it's so important. And I get back in here And I point here a lot because we talk about body, mind aligned in the heart center. And once I'm back here, I'm vibrating a completely different signal. And first of all, I feel better. And then I know like I friggin' know the outside's going to be just fine.
Yep.
And if it's not, it's still okay. Because you can flow even when things aren't flowing on the outside.
Yeah. I love what Tristan said about everyone gets a pass. That doesn't mean that you think that what they did was the best choice for them. It doesn't mean that you wish they had maybe chose differently. None of that really matters. It's knowing, like we have shared a lot, I won't go into it, but we had a very large amount of money stolen from us and some other people. And if you heard the details of the story, you would feel it's so not fair. When are they going to jail? Probably next year, by the way. And
we don't know. And I don't care.
But we could either dwell on being a victim and hating and putting our energy into doing everything we could to make sure they were punished, right? I wanted the funds back, but the funds were gone. So the only thing left was I could keep being bitter and feeling like a victim and probably call more of that into my life. Because thoughts are prayers. Thoughts are prayers. So if you keep having the same thought over and over and over again, prayers are answered. Wouldn't it be better if I could shift that thought, shift my energy so I could move into a thought of, we made this money and we're going to make some more. And I wonder why I created this lesson. What do I have to learn from it? Or only good things happen to me. I just don't understand what's happening with this yet, but I'm sure I will. Right? Or I've probably done things that hurt people in the past, and now I know more deeply how that feels, and I'll be more compassionate in the future. Looking for thoughts and feelings that unhook me from that energy. I don't want to be hooked to that energy because then you get more of it. So what do we want to hook our energy to? Love, kindness, appreciation, presence. We had a great conversation with a business colleague today. We were talking about relationships, and I was telling him sometimes, in my opinion, the best thing you can do for the person you're in a relationship with is be a witness to their life. Just let them know, I see you. I see you.
Hey there, I see you back.
Like, your thoughts matter. Your feelings matter, and I'm here to be a witness to your life so that you know you're seen by someone. So just being present to someone, all of these things feel so good. It feels so good to be present. It feels so good to have somebody be present to you. And having those kind of thoughts, you're hooking up to them, that's what you're going to get more of. Good feelings bring more good feelings. Good energy brings more good energy, right? We all know that. It's like, oh my gosh, things just started happening. And then they have success stories. I don't know, one thing happened and then another and another and another. Same thing. Oh, I lost this money and then I lost that and then my dog died. And then it can go that way too.
You just got to catch it. Notice where you're at. You can tell by how you're feeling and by what's showing up in your life. So if you look around and it's kind of like, what's going on? Check in. What's going on with you? Where you be? What are you vibrating? Do that beautiful work within yourself to get happy. I have a saying that I say every day. It's my personal life mission statement. We've shared this before. Some of you have heard it, some haven't.
It's a Satori mission statement?
It's now become something that our tribe loves, which is the purpose of my life is to fully awaken to the vibration of unconditional love. So it's about each and every day waking up to that feeling and making that the priority. That's the number one dominant goal of the day. Unconditional love, which has lots of friends, right? Joy, laughter, playfulness, compassion, humility, understanding.
Gratitude.
Absolutely. And then each and every day shape that love into vibrant health. I just know that if I can take care of my body as a temple I move it, I do my qigong and my exercises, I'm going to be a much happier human. So, vibrant health, conscious wealth. Lately I've been saying aligned wealth as well. I like the wealth that's flowing into our lives to be aligned with that mission. Beautiful relationships, and that spiritual wisdom that guides me on my path of service. And I say that on the regular because that's what keeps my energy in check. And energy's everything. So that's what we're all about, y'all. It's time to go and see your aunties and uncles. Yeah? All right. Well, I think on that note we need to sing a song. It's so easy to be in love. 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 It's so easy, it's so easy. Yeah, it's so easy, it's so easy. All right, y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in our lives. Thanks for being part of the Trisbrina Show. And until next time, we're going to rock it out with some kind of new fun royalty music. Here it comes. Hey! Ho! Have a beautiful Thursday or whatever day. Dance it out. Good night, Montreal. Good night, everybody. Much love.